Here are 3 things that you need to do if you have a physical coming up that requires some lab work and if they're going to take your blood. So you want to have a real accurate report on your blood work. That's the reason why they're taking them, right? So what you want to do is make sure that you fast. Now, fasting means no food, okay? So they don't want you to eat anything, drink anything before they take your blood. So that's the most accurate report of your blood composition. So if you eat something, then your blood glucose goes up because that's just a normal reaction to when you eat food, okay? Your body responds to it and it's processing the food and your blood sugar goes up. So that might give a false reading on your blood that is not normal. So when I was younger, say 15, 20 years ago, when I made a physical appointment, they were very adamant about making sure and stressing, okay, make sure you don't eat anything, make sure you fast. Well, I noticed that in the last couple of years, the doctor's office, they don't mention that. And so I just remember that. And so that actually happened to me one time. I forgot to fast. I had breakfast or something before I went and got my lab work. And so I mentioned it to the nurse and she says, oh, that's okay. We'll just write down like non-fasting. It shouldn't make a big difference. And so sure enough, my labs came back and I'm real data driven. I really like data. And so I compare my blood work to the last time to make sure that everything is looking good. And so my glucose levels were higher. So this doctor wanted to give me medicine to control my diabetes. And so I was like, wait a second. I don't know if you remember, but I did not fast. And so I don't think I'm diabetic. And I don't want to take medicine if I really don't have a problem. So anyway, he backed off a little bit and said, okay, well, make sure you watch your diet and everything. So I had to go back in 6 months and they took another blood draw. I made sure I fasted this time and sure enough, everything was fine. So again, some people don't push back. They just listen to whatever the doctor says. But I just want you to have this information because it is important and you don't want to be on prescriptions for something that you don't really ever need. So the second thing is to make sure that you get an early morning appointment or a morning appointment versus an afternoon appointment if you're like me, because again, I like to eat every couple of hours and it's hard for me to wait till the afternoon and be starving and be hangry. So don't do that. And the third item is make sure that right before your appointment, think about if you had been on some antibiotics or something else, some other kind of medication for some other issue. For instance, I had some oral surgery done that required me to be on an antibiotic for a couple weeks. And I thought about that because I had my appointment coming up for my physical. And I wasn't sure if that would affect my blood work. So not wanting to get a needle in my arm a couple times, so I called the office for my doctor and I mentioned that and they said, oh yeah, we don't really want you to come in for a couple weeks after you've taken your last antibiotic pill. So I had to reschedule that. So that's another thing to save you time and save you aggravation and save you money for having to do it twice. So if you have any, something that might have come up at the last minute, and it just so happens that right before your physical, call the doctor, talk to the nurse and see if that's going to be a problem or not. Okay. So hope this helps. Give a like and we'll talk to you soon. Good.